You're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast, the #1 rated robot-related podcast in northeastern Ontario.
Well, hello everybody. It's episode 175 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, November 19th, 2017. I'm your host, Sean, with my co-host, Josh, and his lovely wife, Kitty, and special guest, Robin, my brother from the Space Jam Podcast.
Hi, how are you?
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
You're not quite, human, are you? No, sir. I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
By your command.
How's everybody doing today?
Terrible.
Yeah, you're in pain.
Yeah, my back hurts.
I am fine.
Good. And you?
I don't wanna.
You don't wanna?
I don't wanna.
And I just spent the last hour and a half shoveling snow.
Yeah, you did.
Because it's winter in Timmins.
It sure is. It was not winter in Sault Ste. Marie
when
I left.
You had a horrendous drive. You took 9 hours to drive a 5-hour drive yesterday.
I really did. Those roads were terrible. I made the bad decision to travel the 129 highway in this weathery, wintry crap.
Incorrect maneuver number 1.
That was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so episode 175. It's a nice rounded number. Well, Josh doesn't think so. Do you?
It's not a round number.
It is a nice number divisible by 5.
It is. It's a divisible number by 5. And so get some business out of the way. The Rusted Robot Podcast can be found where, Josh?
iTunes.
Yes.
You can find it on iTunes. Are we on Stitcher?
We're on Stitcher.
We're on Stitcher. You can also download the app.
Yes, the Got Rust app. Go to your iPhone, click on the Safari link, and put in therustedrobot.podbean.com. You can add it to your home screen. You'll get a quick launch app of Rivet the Rusted Robot.
And you can listen to it directly on the internet at the website.
Yes, you can. Yeah, there are many ways to find the podcast. If you would...
And I believe you're putting them up on YouTube.
They are now up on YouTube.
Oh.
No video component yet.
Well, it's the video is just the artwork image for the episode itself. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You did not know we were on the YouTube.
I did not know you were on the YouTubes. See, I've been told that we should get on the YouTubes as well.
You should get on the YouTubes.
And but I haven't made that jump yet to do that.
Okay.
However, episode 100 of the Space Jam Podcast, coming up in 6 short weeks, will be a very special edition on YouTube.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. So to find the Rusted Robot on YouTube, all you have to do is look up my name, Sean Vanderloo. Subscribe on there. Once I get some more subscribers, up to 100 subscribers, we can do a custom URL. Until then, you just have to search by my name. Leave us a 5-star review on the iTunes store. That would be fantastic. We'll wait. You can do that right now. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it. If you'd like to share the links on your Facebook and your Twitter, it's always appreciated, right, Josh?
Yep. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends
tell
about
your mother. Tell your teacher.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Tell your enemies, because they still might enjoy it.
Tell everybody you know that the Rusted Robot Podcast is here for you.
And tell them if they don't like it, they can hate listen.
They can
hate listen.
Yes, that's true.
I love it.
And the final thing you can do is if you'd like to support the show, help pay for the bandwidth and the website and all that good stuff, go to patreon.com/Darth Vaderloo.
Well, if they wanted to support us, how else could they do it?
They could probably go to wearedappertise.com.
They could, and they can get themselves a fancy tie while doing it.
And if they put in the promo code RUSTED, they get free shipping.
Free shipping, fancy ties, supporting a podcast, what else can you want?
I don't think there's anything else a person could want. Because they're indirectly supporting the show and not having to go to patreon.com/Darth Vaderloo. Although they can do that.
They can do both.
For $1 a month even.
They can get a tie, they can get the support of being a patron.
Yeah.
What kind of tie?
Like a fancy tie.
A fancy tie. Everybody needs a tie because coming up at the end of the year, in fact, December 31st, what are we having, Josh?
I believe there's a New Year's Gala at the Senator Hotel put on by the Northern Ontario Expo Comic-Con.
There is. Tickets are only $60 each.
They're flying off fast.
They are flying out fast. In fact, Kitty, you sell them at your store.
Yes, Yes, I do.
What's your store called?
It's called Jump City.
And what is that about?
It's currently a comic book shop located at 229 Pine Street South, Timmins, Ontario, but it is moving to the 101 Mall.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
On Highway 111/Algonquin. The official
Moving.
address. The official address is 38 Pine Street North.
So you're moving in the new year,
Yes.
but you're still going to have Jump City.
Yes.
It's still going to exist.
Yes.
You're still going to sell comics.
Yes.
And you sell tickets for the New Year's Eve Gala.
Yes, we do.
And who else sells tickets for the New Year's Eve Gala? Is it true that Wicked Stuff and Elfie's Cigar Store sell these tickets?
Wicked Stuff, Alfie's Cigar Store.
And members of the board,
Members of the
of which Josh and I are some of those people.
Yeah, you can come pester Sean at work. If you can find him on his route, he'll sell you a ticket.
I'll sell you a ticket. I'll sell you anything you want. I'm selling 40 totes of collectibles. You want to buy some totes? You want to buy some toys? Mint and package from the 90s?
You said you'd sell them to me for $1.
I lied.
I lied.
I'm not selling you my toys for $1. I will sell them to you for fair market value, my good friend.
There, $1, because you really want to get rid of them.
I need space.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm offering you space for $1.
Earth, Hitler, 1938. That's a Star Trek 6 reference. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, except you just imply that I'm quoting Hitler.
Didn't you?
No!
Okay. I just need more room in my house. All right, we'll move on, and we'll start talking about podcast things now that all that business is out of the way. My brother.
Hey, brother.
I'm glad you could make it for this special episode.
Me too.
175?
175. Nice round number.
Nice round number.
You guys don't know what round number means.
I was terrible at math. I'm just saying it because I know it bugs Josh, so that's why. Yeah.
So you, the other night, went and saw Justice League, the movie.
That is correct.
The motion picture.
The motion picture. Justice League, the movie.
How was it?
Well, I actually rated it.
You did?
8 out of 10.
That good?
That good. To me, anyways. Compared to the slop that was Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman obviously was really good, but they went the extra little mile, I think, with this one. And it was a well-paced film.
Really?
Lots of action.
How was the lighting? Was it still dark and crappy?
Not so much.
Oh, good.
No. I don't know if you guys had covered it. I know we had covered it over on the Space Jam podcast, but they did have some reshoots with Joss Whedon.
Because Zack Snyder's daughter passed away.
That's right,
And
yeah.
he couldn't complete the film, so good old Joss took over.
And you could, when you're watching the film, you can definitely tell what Joss did and what he didn't do. He added more humor to the whole thing.
Does it take you out of the movie?
No. It's well-timed, not Avengers-esque proportion, but, you get... now, of course, this movie introduces the Flash. It introduces Cyborg. So they've had no lead-ins to those characters other than the little flashbacks.
Same with Aquaman.
And same with Aquaman.
Okay.
That's a lot of characters to introduce in one movie.
It is, and they do it in a way in this film.
Makes sense?
It
Organic?
makes sense. It's organic. It's not forced upon you.
Good.
Everyone that comes in, they have their screen time. I think Ben Affleck obviously has the most screen time.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of him as Batman.
You like
Bruce
him?
Wayne.
You like him as Batman?
You like
Yes.
the Batfleck?
I do.
Is he the best Batman in your
I wouldn't say
opinion?
the best. No.
He does have the right chin, though.
Yes.
True.
The best Batman is Adam West.
Absolutely, 100%. And then Kevin Conroy, of course, after that.
Yeah.
But
well, he's got the voice. He doesn't have the face.
oh, this is true. He has more of a Joker face, that guy.
Harsh.
Poor Kevin.
Harsh. He's not
Okay.
going to hear it.
So Batman was good. How was Wonder Woman? As good as she was in her own movie, or?
Yes. Now, I was not a fan of Gal as the casting as Wonder Woman.
Seriously, she's hot.
She is. She's smoking hot, especially in this film.
Okay,
But
good.
as far as the character of Wonder Woman goes, who's supposed to be an Amazon, she's not Amazonian enough.
She's
for
not
me.
built.
No.
Who would you have picked?
In her heyday, when she was not on drugs and was alive,
China?
China would
Okay.
have been my go-to. Absolutely.
Figured.
But
You need somebody with a face, and you need to put them on the Marvel diet.
Yeah.
Put them on the same routine the guys are on. Get her jacked.
Yeah. How about Xena back in her heyday?
Oh, Lucy Lawless?
yeah, she would have been a fine choice too.
Yeah, she made a great warrior princess.
The CGI for Cyborg, how was that? I know Josh was concerned about it.
Yeah, up into the last few trailers, they still looked unfinished.
Right, and watching the final product, it's not too bad. It doesn't take you out. And
It
for
could
the
be better?
It could have been better, but if you want to talk about CGI, there's a moment where they're showing Superman on a cell phone in the beginning of past things that happened.
Like a flashback.
Like a flashback. And because at the same time he was filming this, he was filming for Mission Impossible 6, and he had a mustache. They CGI'd the mustache out, and we just could not comprehend why his face looked so weird. And we were all like, what the hell?
Because I've seen the pictures online. I thought they were fake.
Yeah, no.
But he filmed his Superman scenes with the mustache.
With the mustache. And then they...
He couldn't have shaved off his mustache and had a fake mustache put on? Because, like, we've seen people have fake hair put on and it looks pretty darn real.
Yeah,
he
no.
couldn't have just shaved?
I guess the studio didn't want that. They wanted the legit
They needed
thing.
real mustache?
Yeah,
That's
as
stupid.
far as I know.
So it took you out of the movie?
No, it didn't really take you out of the movie, but you were just kind of wondering, why the hell?
What's wrong with his face?
What's wrong with his face?
You should never wonder what is wrong with the face.
Because he
of
just
one
had
of
this
the
weird, awkward smile. Like, it was just like,
He's grimacing in a
Grimacing
very
in
strange way.
Yeah, it was strange.
All right. How was Aquaman?
He was a badass.
He was the breakout star of the film, or no?
No, for me, was the Flash.
Okay, that's what I want to know. This Ezra Miller is no Grant Gustin.
No, he isn't.
Did he do a good job?
He did a great job.
Really?
I was dying. Like, I was laughing anytime the Flash was doing his Flash escapades.
Okay.
Being flashy?
Being flashy, good one. Now, granted, obviously, he hasn't been the Flash for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's somewhat new to this whole thing. And one thing that stood out was when he was running. It looked so awkward.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was just a really awkward...
Like on purpose?
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Like they did it for the film to make him look awkward?
I think so.
Okay, not just the way the actor was.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, like, to me, him and Aquaman really stole the show. Absolutely.
So they made the Flash look awkward while running.
Yes.
Even though that's his thing.
That's his one thing.
Yeah, it was just weird
It's
looking.
when he looks cool. They made him look
The
awkward.
only thing he can do,
Yeah.
they made him look dumb doing it.
Yeah.
That's
not every time, but there was one sequence in particular when he's running and it just looks like he has jelly legs. Like, it was weird.
So he looks like he doesn't know how to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his one thing that he does.
Yes.
That's really irritating.
Yeah.
I also heard that they didn't keep in line with the same outfits for the Amazons as in the Wonder Woman movie. Is that true? They broke continuity by giving them completely different outfits?
You know what, they may have, and I wasn't really paying attention to those details, so I can't elaborate on that.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a little bit of a change, sure, but nothing that ruined anything for me.
Okay, so how was the overall story?
Overall story was good. Obviously, everything's going to lead into the whole dark side, apocalypse, invasion, whatever.
That's what they're leading up to?
That's what they're leading up to.
Okay.
The villain of this one is Steppenwolf. And what was nice about Steppenwolf is he is there the entire movie.
Oh, so it's not the band from the 60s?
No.
It's an actual guy?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. No magic carpet rides.
Oh, crap.
Okay. So, essentially, in these superhero films, when they face off against the big villain, they face off against all the crappy little guys, and then you get your big fight at the end,
With
the
the boss.
climax boss fight, and we all know how that goes. This takes a different approach, where Steppenwolf is basically whipping everyone's butt the entire movie.
Oh.
So, until we get a return, of the characters coming back together to fight again, how it goes. 2 post-credit scenes.
Oh, okay. Right at the very end, or?
One is...
halfway through the credits?
Not even halfway.
Okay.
It's pretty quick. But the final one is at the very end, and that one is worth sticking around for.
Was it a long movie?
No, the runtime actually wasn't that bad. It went by it.
So it's well-paced?
Yes.
The story was good? All the characters were good?
All the characters were good. Now, if you're a big Superman fan and fan of the comics and you remember the whole death of Superman and the return of Superman and all that, if you were expecting that in this movie, you're going to be disappointed. But they did it in a way that made sense movie-wise. So they kind of put everything together in one big, nice, wrapped up, neat little box.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Superman figure is not in their cardboard advertisement thing for the outside.
Oh, at the theater?
Yeah.
Like the cardboard stand-up?
Yeah, it's a cardboard stand-up. It's neat because they started doing like photo op style cardboard stand-up things.
With the whole face cutout thing? Or you
No,
could just...
this one you just stand and all of the characters are looking at you.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of cool, so it looks like you're part of the movie thing. And one of my friends is a really big fan of Superman, so when he went, he was wearing a Superman outfit. Like, he has one of those character hoodies.
Ah, yes.
So he looks like Superman, and he's standing in the middle. And it's
That's
great
cool.
because there is no Superman.
Oh, cool.
So it's not even like it's doubled. It's just great.
So you definitely recommend?
I would recommend it. I was going into this movie not expecting a lot. I was waiting to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of way things have been going with DC films.
Right.
I was hoping I was going to be wrong. I was wrong. It was a good movie. They redeemed themselves. Enough? I don't know. But we'll see what happens. We'll have to wait to see what the box office numbers tell us.
Right, that's true. That's Robin's report. We haven't had a Robin's Road report in forever, so it's
You're
good.
absolutely right, we haven't.
It's good that you're here to do it live in person.
That's, yeah.
We could take this outside and let him talk about it while standing on the road.
We could,
We
but
could do that.
we're not going to.
No.
I could go for a drive
It's cold
and then
enough.
record as well,
You could.
like I used to do.
Yeah.
That would be odd. And it's best not to do that right now because the roads are so bad.
You're right about that.
Yes. Winter in Timmins. Not fun.
I don't mind it. Otherwise I would have moved.
I'm still thinking about leaving.
Really?
Robin and I are going to move to Tahiti and open up a tiki bar on the beach.
Yeah, Tahiti, it's a magical place.
I like living here.
Why?
I like being near the forest.
I like visiting here.
Yeah.
I do enjoy coming up to Timmins.
I think you should move here.
Maybe.
Since I don't think I'm leaving anytime soon, I think you should just move here.
All right, I'll just stay. I just won't even go home tomorrow.
You know, he's a house you can buy.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of property for sale here.
Good, good.
It's a thriving community.
Okay, well, if you sell all your collectibles, and I sell all my collectibles, I might have enough for a down payment on a house.
Oh, there you go.
I have information that is relevant to both pop culture and also to Timmins.
Tell me.
How would you guys like to live under a dome?
I saw your sister on Facebook saying something about a dome. And in fact, this week I was talking about a dome, and then I saw her post on Facebook about the dome, and I wanted to actually get her here for the podcast to tell about the dome. But since you know about it, tell me stuff about the dome.
So Julie's always wanted to live under a dome in a city. She doesn't want it to be like closed off because it's not sustainable. Like if you've ever seen the movie Biodome, everybody would have died because there's just not enough plant life to make the air for all the people.
So you need a dome over the city, but with airflow and tunnels for your traffic to get through.
Yeah,
and
you need to be able to like leave and come back and wildlife and such. Her plan is to have like a train that would run through. So that could move all the supplies and such. Like you could still easily have people driving in their own vehicles, but the train idea is so that we don't have ore cars driving on our big crazy roads anymore. So it won't be destroyed by ore cars, and it also won't be destroyed by snowplows because if we're living under a dome,
we don't need snowplows.
We don't need snowplows anymore.
All the snow removal budget can go towards maintenance of said dome.
Of said dome, yes. Also, somebody brought up the idea.
On the outside of the dome, though.
Well,
because it would pile up and it would just start.
Yeah,
it would have heating elements inside. It would just melt off.
Well, part of the thing is that the people who would normally do snow removal, instead of them losing their jobs, they would do the maintenance of the dome, which would occasionally require squeegeeing and whatnot because there's some stuff that just won't come off or it just sits perfectly. But you could electrify the glass, and then all the ice buildup would just crack and slide off.
Like
the
the back
edge.
window of the car.
Like the back window of a car.
So all those birds that fly into the dome.
There's actually a material that
If
that
it's
they use in
electrified,
Iceland.
then they
get fried.
They can feel the electrical currents though before they get there, because they have like that magnetic sense in their beaks.
Magnetic repellent for the birds.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
And there might be like stripes around it so planes would see it, and you know.
Well,
something.
it would. She's thinking more of like a geodesic dome, like the plans that they have in Russia. What they did was they had a very large open pit excavated.
Okay.
Much like our giant open pit mine that we have. And then they built like a small geodesic dome, basically like a lid that goes over the top of this thing. And then people's like homes and shops and plants and things are along the edge of the dome. It looks really cool.
How big is the one in Russia?
I didn't get to read all of the information about it and actually retain all that information.
How expensive and feasible is this, though?
Well, when you take into account that it'll cost a lot less on our roads and snow removal, that's already a big return that we'd be getting. Plus, I have a feeling people would travel here to see the people who live under the dome.
I think so.
The
That would
dome
be a-
minions, if you will.
TimminsUnderGlass.
Yes.
.com.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool.
I agree. I don't like shoveling.
You could build the dome if you use active support. They have 4 columns of active support. Build a large geodesic dome. We can do it.
Let's do it.
Costs a few $1 billion.
All right.
It would be better than another Stars and Thunder. And if you wanted to in the future, you could set off fireworks from on top of the dome, and then you wouldn't have to worry about all the stuff coming down on the audience watching.
Or you know what? The top of the dome could actually be a gigantic IMAX screen.
Oh, yeah, somebody I was talking to was talking about the possibility of, like, projectors and stuff.
Right.
So we're looking at, like, almost like the setup from the Inhumans with how they're at a land on the moon.
Have not seen it.
Do yourself a favor and don't.
The solar glass?
Yeah. From Elon Musk?
Yeah, because if you use that, like, even though it's less efficient than something that is a solid structure and something that is black, even though it's clear and it's, like, half the efficiency of a regular solar panel, if it was covering all of Timmins, we'd be able to power the whole city with just solar power.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And the electrical current could also be powered by the solar power.
Josh, get Mayor Black on the phone.
Oh, also, yeah. So Mayor Black has to be in on, like, making the dome, but then Julie becomes the mayor after, because this is her idea.
I'd vote for you.
Also, she'll wear the sash and be an interesting mayor to watch. Sash and a top hat.
Your sister is a very interesting individual.
It'd be great.
It would be great.
Yeah. Julie, mayor of the dome.
There you go. There you go.
That's my vote.
Perfect. Speaking of things that are great, you
watched
the first episode of The Punisher last night, which came out Friday, November 17th, the same day as Justice League.
Yes, sir.
I have not seen any of it yet.
Okay.
Tell me about the first episode. Josh, have you seen it?
No, because I only watch it with Katie, and Katie didn't get home until
This
today.
morning.
Because you had a busy night at work.
Yeah.
Okay. Robin,
Yes.
episode 1.
All right, episode 1 of The Punisher on Netflix.
Worth the wait?
Worth the wait. Regular episode. Nothing too nothing too newsworthy of the episode in particular.
Okay.
However, at the end of that episode, much like these shows do, they hook you. And they say, okay, you gotta watch the next one. I contemplated watching the second episode, but it was already like 1:30 in the morning at that point. I wasn't going to get up this morning if I continued watching.
Because you had a podcast to help record.
That's right.
Which is what we're currently doing, live as it happens.
And I drove for 9 hours, and it was late, and I was really tired, and I'm old now, and I can't stay up all night anymore.
I have a question about Punisher, but it won't include any spoilers.
Okay.
What is the music like?
You didn't notice it, did you?
I didn't really notice anything.
Oh, that's so much.
I wasn't honestly very sober when I was watching that first episode either. So
you did have some Kraken last night.
I did have some Kraken last night.
Which we might do again this evening.
Yes.
Because I was too tired when you got home to my place to have some Kraken.
That's right.
Because I knew I'd have to get up early in the morning to shovel the miles and piles of snow.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I didn't have any Kraken, but tonight we will have Kraken.
Tonight we'll have Kraken.
As far as the Marvel shows go, I found that their music in their shows is really good. So
Yeah, they usually nail it right on.
Yeah.
Like, even with the Defenders, they did it well. It was a nice mix.
Defenders was really good.
Yeah.
The other ones that were my favorite was Daredevil and Luke Cage. Luke Cage had amazing music in it.
Yeah, I'm not a big hip hop fan, but it worked and it was done well. Like
I
everything.
found a lot of it was jazzy.
It was jazzy hip hop.
I even liked the music in Iron Fist.
I did too. I liked Iron Fist. A lot of people hated it.
Good, but my favorite.
I liked it. How did you like Jessica Jones?
I enjoyed Jessica Jones.
I couldn't stand it.
See, most people either liked Iron Fist or liked Jessica Jones.
See, here is what I took away from it. Iron Fist just felt like a really poor Arrow ripoff to me. But I did not hate it. I thought he was a little uncharismatic, boring, but other than that, I enjoyed the show.
I liked how they made him like a whiny kid who basically can't really do his job very well and just like he follows orders, but then also he sucks at following orders.
Because
which
he's
sets it up
still
perfectly.
essentially a kid.
Yeah, but
you know?
it sets
I
it up
mean,
perfectly for Defenders, because like
Yeah.
if they didn't lay it out where it's just like he is so bad at his job and all he wants to do is get credit because he's basically just a kid, and then in Defenders he's basically just a kid and he's the damsel in distress, and it's great. It made me so happy. I was like, yes, this is why they did it the way that they did it.
I'm definitely looking forward to finishing the rest of The Punisher and waiting in anticipation for Daredevil Season 3.
When does that come out?
Well, I believe they've just started production on it recently.
Okay.
So, might be out.
Is it Daredevil, then Jessica Jones 2, or is it Jessica Jones 2, then Daredevil 3?
Jessica Jones has already finished filming.
Okay, then it was Jessica Jones 2, then Daredevil
And
3.
they're doing Luke Cage Season 2.
Good.
And
I like
I believe there's an Iron Fist season 2 as
We
well.
can do without that.
We could, but
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
I like it too.
We should get a Misty Knight.
We do in Luke Cage.
Oh, that makes
No,
sense.
I mean.
Oh, just the show?
Misty
Yeah.
Knight. Replace Iron Fist. Get Misty Knight.
Aw, you can't replace Iron Fist.
But you know what's
fell
happening?
fell down the stairs because he wasn't paying attention. Oh no, he broke his neck. He's in a hospital.
Well, all of his bungling.
We'll get back to him later, maybe, if somebody can write something decent.
I'm the Iron Fist.
Well, you know what's happening though. You know, all these shows are on Netflix, but Disney wants to join the streaming service bandwagons. All that stuff that's currently on Netflix is going to go over to the Disney pay for streaming service, like
I really like
CBS All
Disney,
Access.
but I don't feel like paying for another thing.
Right?
So I'm just not gonna. Sorry, Disney.
I've got two arguments to this whole thing because on one of our previous episodes we discussed how that was probably a terrible decision. Disney doing their own streaming.
Disney's got.
They're all about the vault.
But they've got lots.
They have lots.
They got
have
Star
a ton.
Wars. They have Marvel.
Yeah.
They have their own stuff.
They do. And I mean, meanwhile, like, okay, that's great and all. I don't pay for anything because I use,
You just steal it all.
I just steal it all and stream everything online.
The
So
Rusted Robot does not
condone that.
Recommend or condone.
Neither does the Space Jam podcast, but I do it anyways. So nonetheless, the whole thing with the streaming service, Disney separate thing. Okay, I thought bad idea. Don't do that. But the recent rumors of Disney acquiring Fox and the characters of X-Men, Fantastic Four, and possibly bringing them back into the fold in the MCU.
I was not aware of this.
You were not aware of this?
No.
I read about it.
Yeah, all the Fox television and movie products. They want to keep Fox News, but they want to get rid of all their entertainment side.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Marvel would be reconglomerated into itself.
Yeah, save for Spider-Man.
What happens to
because
Simpsons?
they're with Sony.
Are they owned
with
by
Sony.
Fox or are they just on Fox?
Hmm?
Simpsons.
Simpsons is a product of Fox, so it's distributed and controlled by Fox Media. So yeah, The Simpsons would become a Disney product.
That's so weird. They probably wouldn't market it that way though. Disney is very wholesome, but I also know that Disney owns some companies that are not so wholesome.
Yeah,
they're in the business to make money. They don't care what it is.
They also there's Miramax, that's under the Disney banner.
Touchstone.
So they got a lot of things that that's Disney? Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. In fact, for a very short time, they owned a porn company.
Yep. They produced one of the largest production porns ever.
I'm not sure if that was them.
Yeah, it was Pirates.
Well, they're in the business to make money. So as long as it's not Disney presents porn, I think they're okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a shell company or whatever they call it.
It's owned by Disney. It's not presented by Disney.
Exactly. That's right.
But
now, what would that mean for, say, the Punisher Netflix show, which seems to be quite violent? And we all know Disney is not all about the violence. But if they have their own streaming service and they carry all those shows over, now, if they acquire all that from, let's say, X-Men and Fantastic Four, join, say, the MCU, and all that goes to the Disney streaming thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a lot of people are going to jump on that bandwagon because it's a big industry. It's a
That's where
big
everything
thing,
is, yeah.
right? That's where the money is right now. Which can lead me into another argument about the pop culture and comics and all that, and popularity of everything.
If you look at Disney's, what they have in their collection, we know Disney by Disney.
Yeah.
But all of its subsidiary companies, they own a lot of media.
Yeah.
So they have enough to film more than enough mature content to cover everything you want.
That's true. Yeah.
And the Punisher is no way are they going to kidify it.
No, they're not.
They have. Well, they can't.
Because they're already producing it, they already own it, and they've produced it the way that it is. They're
Because
not gonna
it's under the Marvel banner, so that's where they leave it.
Yeah.
Disney's Marvel. Yeah.
So I don't see a worry about them kidifying or smoothing out the content at all. I think we're going to keep it rough and dark and
gritty.
So I have no problems on that regard. I'm not terribly against this.
I just don't want to pay
because
for another system.
While Netflix is doing a fantastic job, I'm concerned about their collapse.
Yeah.
They are way in debt and going deeper in debt each year. And the only thing that's keeping the company running is people believe, no, they'll make money back. They got all the money. It's that concept that's keeping them afloat. 'Cause the moment doubt enters the system, backers are going to be like, okay, well, start paying us off.
Yeah.
And they don't have the money because they're spending too much too quickly.
Yeah. That happens.
And generally, when these Marvel shows debut on Netflix, they crash because everyone wants to watch them. So you take that away from Netflix, what's going to be on there for people to crash it and, get their subscribers up?
Well, I really like a lot of the Netflix-made shows.
There's some really good ones out there.
Kim Possible. Or, sorry, not Kim Possible.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
The Santa Clarita Diet. Anyone watch that?
Nope.
No.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
There's the Mindy Project. That one's super funny.
Sense8, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that one was really popular.
And of course, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is the best.
Have you watched all of season 2?
Nope, we have 3 episodes left.
Oh.
2 episodes.
3.
Yeah.
3.
2.
3.
I finished that off.
I've still only seen one episode.
You're terrible.
I know.
It's so good.
It is really good. It's such a nice throwback to the old 80s, films and all the like.
I need to take a break from shoveling snow and watch some TV.
Don't we only get Voltron through Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Voltron.
Voltron's super good.
Legendary Defenders.
It's so good.
Now, speaking of streaming services, you friend,
Me
brother, have you seen Star Trek Discovery?
No. And here's why. I just haven't had the time because
You've
I'm
listened-
already
you've listened to the-
overloaded. I want to watch it for myself because I like Star Trek. It's not that I don't like Star Trek.
Then you're not going to like this.
You're going to love it.
I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard it's good. I heard people like it. I heard people don't like it. But I'm the guy that will have to watch it for myself and decide if I like it or
That's
not.
good. You should never take somebody else's opinion over your own.
Exactly.
That's true.
Except for mine.
Okay, so last Sunday was the mid-season finale of Star Trek Discovery. It was the conclusion to the Klingon War. It was a fantastic episode. It dealt a lot with male sexual assault, so it had a very good, strong message.
It did. Of course it did.
It did.
You ever notice all these shows these days are all just touching on the today's events?
This is before Kevin Spacey and the guy from the comic books. What was that guy's? Eddie Brockheimer or something that you shared on your thing?
There was Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey.
Even George Takei was getting accused too.
Everybody's getting, it's all coming out of the woodwork. So this episode dealt with male sexual assault where Ash Tyler was, I guess, raped, brutalized by L'Rell, the Klingon. So it was from the male perspective.
And they put that
There was
on Star Trek?
there was Klingon boobies in the episode. You got to see Klingon tatas.
Klingon tatas.
Yeah, but it wasn't in a titillating way. But
this does not sound.
It's really dealing with a lot of important issues.
Except
so.
they had the
No,
first
but it's
male on
not
male gay kiss in Star Trek on this
And
episode.
that's fine.
Yes.
I thought it would happen in that movie, the terrible one.
In the terrible.
Beyond?
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond from 2016? I don't think they kissed.
I think they did.
I don't remember. But this was the first on a TV series for Star Trek.
Okay.
So they're breaking new ground.
No, see,
Yeah, but a kiss is a
For
kiss.
for Star Trek. It's already been on TV, Will and Grace, and all this other stuff from years ago. But Star Trek is finally catching up. It was off the air for 12 years. Give them a break.
But here's the thing, though.
It's fantastic. I love it.
You can do social commentary.
Yes.
And you can do groundbreaking things.
And they are.
But they must be in service of the story.
And it is.
It is not. From everything I have seen in this show.
You haven't seen the last 5 episodes, dude. You don't
There
know.
are 10 episodes out?
9.
Okay, so I've seen the first 5.
Okay.
Everything in this that I have seen is not, this is the story, this is the social issue that touches in this story. It is, this is the social issue. Let's try to make a story around that.
I don't
Can
see
we?
it that way.
I don't know.
No,
Let's
That's
just
what
do
the
it.
Orville does.
No. The Orville does it the other way.
The Orville's pretty clunky with it.
There was a couple episodes that felt just right out of place of the entire story, though. They just kind of
They're-
didn't go with the flow of things, I found.
True. They are trying to find their footing.
Yeah.
They are season 1 next gen. They are trying to find their footing.
I enjoy the hell out
But
of
they
it.
don't have
Love it.
Me too. We all love
50
it.
years of history showing them how to do it.
Yeah, they do. They could watch 50 years of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is you used to be able to watch 50 years of Star Trek with your grandma, with your dad, as a family thing. You can't sit and watch Star Trek with your kids.
Sure you can.
No, you
can't.
can't.
Watch this with your kids.
You totally can.
Yeah?
As long as you explain it to
You
them.
would watch that episode
I would watch that episode with Bishop.
with your son?
He'll be 12 next month. There's,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no reason he can't watch that.
Yeah?
Totally.
You want him to have to go to school and deal with the fact that, like, people are having to, like, talk about male sexual assault and stuff.
That scene is over so fast, he wouldn't even pay attention. He'd be more on his phone. So
You're assuming.
Oh, I've watched TV with him.
Be like, oh, Klingon tatas.
It was half a second.
Oh, yeah?
So you don't...
So you didn't notice it?
I noticed it.
You didn't...
Because I was watching the episode. I wasn't on my phone.
It wasn't a major thing that everybody was like, oh, look, Klingon boobs. It's only there for a second, though. So
this is the first I've heard of Klingon boobs. So,
I
mean, color me curious what Klingon boobs look like, but I might have to just watch the episode for myself now.
Klingon boobs look like.
They're gray.
Nobody... Well, see, that's the thing is that I don't care. I don't care what they're like. But see, like, if it's so quick...
It was just...
You just said they're great.
What? I didn't say the boobs were great.
Yes,
you said it was great.
The episode was great. I'm not talking about the boobs. That was just like a split second of a frame when he was going through his flashbacks of being tortured.
Which is all messed up.
It is all messed up.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to agree. You don't like
Probably
it.
not.
I love it.
I just don't feel like this Star Trek is a Star Trek I would want to watch.
It's more Star Trek than Star Trek, is what it is.
I don't know if it is, though.
Well, I think you need to watch it. Where's Shane? He should be here. Where's Shane?
Shane didn't answer the text.
Probably working.
All right. Okay, so let's not talk about Star Trek anymore.
Moving on.
We all love the Orville.
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
I heard that they're canceling episode 13, and they're only having 12 episodes this season, but the 13th episode is going to be in season 2.
That's just a shuffling of order. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they are getting season 2.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Good. That's good.
It's very cool.
They may have to reshoot some things because they may have thought, ooh, we may not get a second season, so we want to have some wrap up.
Yeah.
In which case, we got a second season. Well, we'll just change this and continue the series.
Yeah. Hey, so we saw some trailers.
We did.
Let's play the trailer for Rampage.
It's weird. You like hang out with animals more than people.
Yeah, well, animals get me. I rescued George when he was 2 years old. George never would have survived on his own.
He definitely trusts you.
Last night, George was 7 feet and weighed 500 pounds. George, you okay, buddy? You're scared. It's okay. This morning, he's 9 feet, pushing 1,000. What's happening to my friend?
Are you familiar with genetic editing? Changes will be incredibly unpredictable.
Is he the only one?
Oh, you didn't know about the 30-foot wolf?
Hell of a day, huh? Science experiments falling from the sky. Having George on that plane is a big mistake. I think we'll be all right. Let's go save the world. It's coming back to me. It's coming back. You have to evacuate Chicago. George didn't ask for this. They're gonna put him down. That's not happening.
Is there something in the river?
I was just thinking the only thing that's missing right now is a giant crocodile.
And what do you guys think about that? The Rock takes on the War for the Planet of the Apes.
That looks like so much fun.
No.
It kind of looks like along the lines of a kaiju movie.
It is. That, and it would be cool.
I like when giant animals are eating people and crushing buildings.
Yeah.
That's
They
like
call
my
it,
whole
but
thing.
they call it Rampage.
I think The Rock right now is 1990s era Schwarzenegger.
So they announced a while ago that The Rock is going to be in the Rampage movie.
Yeah.
Cool. The big debate was, which one's he going to be? Is he going to be the wolf? Is he going to be the lizard? Is he going to be the ape?
He's a guy.
Which one is he going to be? Oh, none of them? None of them actually are people that transform into giant monsters? They're just animals.
Yeah, that got
Yeah, they're just animals
that got embiggened.
Embiggened.
So
largified.
Courage and big.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is based off of the old video game Rampage.
Yeah.
Right. I was a huge fan of that game. Loved them, and there was nothing more fun than just walking around as a big giant animal, just smashing down buildings.
I never played this
This
game.
is based on an old video game.
Yeah,
and that's why
from the
you're
'90s.
upset.
Yeah. Now there wasn't much of a story.
There was
to
a
said
story.
video game. Not a huge story. Not a big
No.
in-depth thing.
But each character,
Yeah.
each of the 3 giant monsters was a person.
I understand.
Oh,
now.
really?
I
And
understand why
each,
you're upset.
And they each had their own story.
So if they called it something else, though, you would have been okay with it?
It's a kaiju looking movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks
It's an
fine.
adaptation of the video game.
But
to,
instead, do
yeah.
you know what it was? Well, we got The Rock. Well, which one are we going to make him? Well, we can't make him any of them because
You
then
gotta
we
keep him as the Rock.
because
So
we got to
sell
see his
tickets.
face most of the
Yeah.
time.
Not if he's Maui.
They could have made him a bull.
Oh yeah, totally.
The Brahma bull.
There you
know?
go.
Hey,
Oh.
that would have been a.
There's a reference for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
sir.
about that?
So like they changed the basic story.
They always do.
Well, yeah, like I see where you're coming from. It irritates me when they're just like, hey, this is the basis for this thing.
They take the source material
We'll take
and
the source
they
material,
change
change
it.
it completely so it's not even the thing anymore,
Yeah.
and then give it the same base name. So we'll get the fans who love that, but they'll hate this, but they'll pay for it. And then we'll also get other people who don't know about the original source base who love it.
I have no history with the source base. I didn't know it was a video game.
I also didn't know, which is why I think the movie looks awesome and it doesn't bother me a bit.
It looks like a lot of fun. And his silverback gorilla is named George, and I'm sure we'll hug him and squeeze him and pet him and call him George.
And the silverback reference is also from The Rock calling himself a silverback gorilla in professional wrestling.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, you are a wrestling expert.
That's right, I am.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm annoyed with what they've done. It looks like it's going to be a fine, dumb action film. It looks fine.
Yeah, it'll be a good romp. But will it break records? Will it be a big
Oh, God, no.
blockbuster? No.
No.
It'll be a fun little...
It's just going to be fun and silly, and
Yeah.
it's not going to even have the same power that Godzilla would have. For
No, exactly. And I don't think it's being made to do that anyways.
No,
I
it's
think
just a
it's
giant
just...
monster movie.
Yeah.
You could have done
popcorn flick
well with this film, doing something deep and big action. Like you go from one of the characters' perspective as, oh my god, I'm turning into a monster. I can't control my anger. It's getting beyond me. Da 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 da. Right? You could have done that, but instead, no. They're just animals.
Mm-hmm.
And and another part, animals are inherently dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you know what a giant wolf would do? Not attack a city.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Probably.
What if it screws up their brain though? Because like the gorilla clearly understands things, and then it just starts flipping out at some point. I assume becoming very large and becoming a monster. Like if it was a person who was transforming into a monster, it would just show you the natural progression of that, and then eventually I guess they would become dangerous. Otherwise they'd just be a giant guy walking around the city being like, hey guys, can I get some doctors over here? Right?
It looks like fun anyway.
What would you have called it if it was like just the movie that it is?
Rage.
Ooh, that would be a
The Rage Monsters 3.
Rage Monsters 3?
Yeah.
And referring to that there are 3 of them
Yes.
rather than that there are
The
3 movies?
Yeah.
That would be great.
The Rage
We'll be like,
Monsters
"Where's
3
one
Part
and
2.
That would be great. I would go to see that. Rage
Mhm.
Monsters 3. How about you? What would you call it?
Crap. He would call it crap because he's not impressed.
No.
No, because he thinks the movie looks good. He's just irritated that they warped
The source
fan
material.
base. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he's upset that The Rock is The Rock and he doesn't become a monster.
Well, he just wanted him to be a monster because of the name. If it was called something else, he wouldn't care.
Yeah, see, that's therein lies the problem.
I would have just called it Silverback.
Ooh. And the
Some
sequel
sort of play on size.
The sequel
One
could
of
be
the
called
size.
Silverback again.
Like a play on size?
Yeah, so like Titanic, but that's already taken by the
Oh
movie.
man, that would be so funny. They just call it Titanic and be like, oh, didn't I see this movie before? Oh, this is not about love.
Call it the Titans.
The Titans, yeah.
There you go. Not Clash of the Titans. just
Collateral
the Titans. That's already over.
I know it's already a thing.
You know they're bringing back Titanic for the 20th anniversary
Yeah,
next
I heard
week.
about that, yeah.
Only in some select AMC theaters, though.
That's fine. I'm not going to go see it either way.
But your co-host Whit is always watching Titanic.
Always watching
according
Titanic.
to Facebook.
Yes, because anytime it's on TV, he watches it.
I enjoyed Titanic. There's some movies that I watch every time they're on TV. Jaws, for example. The entire Jaws trilogy, even though it's actually 4 movies.
Right. So we then saw the trail. Would you call it a trailer?
Teaser trailer.
for Deadpool as Bob Ross. Let's play it here because it's funny.
Hello there. Welcome back. I'm glad you could join me today. Let's just dive right in and run all the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. I have my regular old canvas here, wet and ready to go. Now, let's grab our trusty 2-inch brush here. Whack that off real good. Just beat it like it owes you money. We're going to get a little dab of our yellow snow here. We're going to mix that with just another little dab of our Betty White. Now, let's just dance in a happy little sky. Now remember, this is your world. You get to make and break the rules here. Sweet baby Jesus. Wish I could jump in there and roll around in all that cascading white powder. Yeah, just get high in all of life's splendor. God, I love cocaine. So much. Holy fuck knuckles, I am high as a kite right now. Okay, let's paint in a few little happy trees there. Nothing wrong with making friends with trees. Now what you don't want to do is eat these paints. Trust me on this one. All right, I'm going to whack off again. That's right. That feels good. Would you look at that? It seems like we have ourselves a finished painting. So from our family to yours, keep your pants dry, your dreams wet, and remember, hugs not drugs.
And you guys had all seen it, and I hadn't seen it until before we started recording.
Oh, yeah.
Very silly.
I saw it within 15 minutes of it going on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
Did
Oh,
you?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I saw it within the first hour it was posted.
Well, I saw everybody talking about it. And Bob Ross this and Bob Ross that. And I'm like, what the hell is everybody
I'm just
talking
happy, like, it's just a stroke of genius.
It's
because
hilarious.
it's in 2017, we have Deadpool doing a Bob Ross impression, and I just...
He does a really good Bob Ross.
Yes, he does. And
The
now,
way he says, "What?" That's exactly how Bob Ross spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know a lot of people that used to watch Bob Ross, but I was one of them. Like, I remember watching it.
It's real popular on Netflix.
It is. I know it is.
It's
Yes,
ridiculously
It's
popular.
really calming.
It is.
I used to watch it before I went to work.
Happy little trees.
I really like Bob Ross.
I wanna
like how he
know-
talks about his weird animals.
I want to know the percentage of people that used to watch it and got that reference, or the people that only just recently discovered it, and it got popular through memes and...
Because there's been a big Bob Ross resurgence in the
There
last
has
couple
been.
years.
Did you know that there are pop figures now available as him?
I was aware of this.
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
have
know
one.
that there's a special flocked version where his hair is soft?
No, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Are you selling it at the comic book shop?
No, we're not getting any of them.
Why not?
Ah, nuts.
Because there's too much competition for pop figures right now, so we're not getting as many.
All right, that's fair. Well, anyway, I think all our listeners should go check it out if they haven't, because it's funny, and we're looking forward to Deadpool 2.
Absolutely we are. Now, did you hear about James Franco being
Yes.
cast as Multiple Man
I
for
did.
a spin-off movie?
A spin-off of what?
X-Men.
Oh, okay.
So here's what we don't need.
Was Multiple Man the one in X-Men 3?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's what we don't need. We don't need a multiple man solo movie.
No, we don't. I agree, 100%.
Can you have? I guess you could have a multiple man solo movie where it's just him.
Yeah.
And then every sequel, Multiple Man 2, and then there's 2 of them. And then you just do a whole
yeah,
sequence
I
of
just
movies.
imagine-
So with each movie comes the same amount of him.
I imagine
We're
that in the
suggesting-
first one he would just be everybody. He'd be the barista at the cafe. He'd be the person taking his money, like the cashier at a grocery store. He'd be the villain that he fights. Just like, wearing a different costume.
Yeah.
He'd just be everybody. That would be a multiple man movie that I
That would be.
watch.
Yeah,
And what's the
literally.
what's the other one that they're suggesting to do a solo movie of? There's another terrible one.
Not Gambit.
No, well,
No, that's
that
already
too.
in
Production.
production. And
Rogue and Gambit are getting their own comic book.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
January.
Nice.
you don't need a multiple man movie.
No, you don't.
Why?
I don't know why. I seen it, and then James Franco as well. I'm like, I like James Franco. He does some good work in certain things, but as Multiple Man, I'm not seeing it. Just
Would you watch it if he was just everybody in the movie?
yes, I would. I think that would be. I think they should just forego the whole multiple man X-Men character, and they should just have him play every
Just
person.
have him play every
you know?
person. Everybody just wears like the Zentai suit, green screen face, and they just green screen his face on everybody else's face. That'd be so great.
Morbius.
Oh yes, actually,
That's the other one.
Absolutely, I'm okay with that one because if it's going to be that whole spin-off of the Spider-Man films in the universe, there, I mean, we've got the Venom movie coming out. We got Black Cat and Silver Sable. I love Black Cat and Venom. Those are my two absolute favorite here's comic characters of all time.
There's a new comic book coming out that you might enjoy. It's an amazing Spider-Man, Venom, and Black Cat are all in a comic together.
Oh!
Yeah.
Put my name on that one.
I don't remember what it's called right now.
So, like, Morbius, not a popular Spider-Man villain.
Which one is he? What does he do?
He's Morbius the living vampire.
Okay.
As opposed to the undead vampire.
Oh, you know what? I did see some of that.
So he's just a guy that drinks blood?
No, he absorbs it through his hand.
Plasma. Give me my plasma. He was doing research, and he had a rare blood disease.
And he's man-bat, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
He's DNA merged with a bat and da-da-da-da-da. Whatever.
And then he becomes an anti-hero eventually, too, and, like...
I remember Morbius. I just didn't really care about him enough to learn more stuff.
Nobody does.
He's kind of a, not a throwaway character, but a character that really never gained notoriety so much.
Was he in the 60s cartoon?
No, he was in the 90s, though.
Okay.
But using him, if they did it right, then they could bring back Blade, you could introduce Ghost Rider, you could do a whole set of things
Except
with that.
Morbius isn't a supernatural character. He's Morbius, the living vampire.
Right.
He's a terrible character. Because if I want vampires in my story, I want the cool vampires, the Draculas.
You mean Dracula from Blade 3?
No. I mean, like your classical.
Like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Like Bram Stoker's Dracula, your cool vampire.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Lestat.
Yeah.
Lestat was a cool vampire.
So that's terrible. Don't need that. You know, there are. Go for if you want a Spider-Man villain movie, the standalone. Go for his A team of villains.
Absolutely.
Don't go to the D list.
Who was really unpopular in Spider-Man that we can make a spin-off for?
But there's so many villains of Spider-Man that you can choose from, and
Mysterio.
Mysterio would be great.
Is the one that could be a good standalone.
Absolutely.
Who do we got? Stiltman?
Stiltman. I mean, they already kind of crapped the bed with Rhino, so I'd like to see Scorpion. The Shocker in Homecoming was kind of a waste.
Yeah, Shocker's not that great of a character anyways.
I wish they gave him his original outfit.
Me too.
You know, where he looks like a sunflower?
Yeah, they kind of they alluded to it a little bit, but it wasn't, you know.
He's missing the big sunflower head.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of Electro.
Oh yeah, Electro. Okay,
Shocker.
yeah, he's my favorite. I like him because he's green and yellow, and sometimes he was drawn so poorly that instead of looking like spikes coming out of his face mask thing that looks
lightning
like
bolts.
Yeah, but it just wound up. They did it loopy sometimes in the '60s version, so he just looks like he's wearing like a big kid's sunflower from like a play, and he'd be like, "I'll get that, Spider-Man," and I was like, "Yes, go forth, tiny child, sing your song about killing Spider-Man."
So yeah, these two movies they're ugh. Why?
Because we have to oversaturate the market right now because that's what's in. I mean, I'm glad that that's happening because the nerd in me from when I was a wee lad is just happy, and I'm so jacked with all this coming out now, and because of the budgets it gets, and because of the special effects we can achieve, and all that. That's all well and great, and it educates all the general public about to go back and go to your local comic book store.
And maybe buy the comic books.
And maybe buy the comic books.
And then know more stuff about the people that you like now.
Here's the problem, though. Everybody's going, look at Marvel, look at all the money they're making, we gotta get some.
Mm-hmm.
DC's got their bank of heroes, right? So they got a lot to draw on. So Warner Brothers, they're kind of muddling along, trying to figure out, some are good, some are bad, mostly bad.
Yeah.
Then you got Fox. They got, we have the X-Men universe. What can we do with that other than the X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
Not too damn much.
No.
So, I don't know, multiple man solo movie? That's about, yeah?
Yeah.
So they're drawing from a smaller pool, and they don't care about the material, they just want to make the money.
Right.
I really wish they would make like an old-timey, like a 90s X-Men movie. Like a proper 90s one.
They're doing that as the
With,
next
like,
one.
Jubilee
Dark
and
Phoenix?
Rogue and Gambit.
Dark Phoenix is supposedly in the 90s and all that.
But I don't think we're going to get anything good here.
Oh, probably not.
So,
but we'll go see it.
But the problem is,
I'll support
if
it.
you throw enough chaff at the problem,
Yeah.
people are going to be like, I don't want to watch superhero films anymore. And it will die.
Yeah.
This is the cowboy problem that we had. It got to the end of the cowboy era, and people were just throwing out westerns. They were churning them out once a week by some studios. You can't produce a movie a week and expect to get all your money back because it's not in the theaters long enough to get your money back.
Yeah.
Particularly the day before home video. So why? Right? Therein lies the problem.
I could see it. I don't want to say it, and I don't want to see it happen. But I could see probably by the end of 2020, I'll have 2020 vision. But I could see probably by that year's end, that's probably when we'll see the phase out of all these comic book movies.
I don't know if it'll ever happen with Marvel because they do a really good job with their movies.
Like, it won't be as oversaturated. There'll still be the odd one that comes out, like, once a year, but I don't think or maybe two, but it won't be where it is right now, where you turn around, there's a new movie coming out, there's a new announcement coming out, there's a new... That's how I see it.
Well,
because, I mean, it's been on a good roll for the last 7 years, right? So...
I hope Marvel keeps doing it because they make a lot of their money off of their movies.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's very difficult to get into their comics because of the way that they name things and number things.
Yes. And the weird stories and...
Well, like, I'm
multiple...
okay with the crossovers and stuff.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen, for example, is the perfect example of a comic that you can get into, that connects to the rest of it, but it also stands alone, and you can follow it, and it's not hard. It has just one title, Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
It's numbered normal numbers, and so far they haven't rebooted it because it's brand new, and it's still connected to the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
But when they decided to take Spider-Gwen back at the end of her 5-run original comic series, they're just like, Spider-Gwen, 1 to 5.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's all that there's going to be, so I followed all of it. And at the end of that, they were like, if you want to follow more of Spider-Gwen, you can follow it in Edge of Spider-Verse. And all of the fans of Spider-Gwen the comic book wrote into them, and they're just like, no, we're going to read it in Spider-Gwen, because we are not following these other titles that you gave us, because it was like Edge of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, there was
a couple other ones. There was like, I don't even remember what there were, but there were like 3 different titles, and they're like, you can follow her here in these random numbered comics. Like, she won't be in every one, she'll just be in this one, and that one, just spaced out randomly. And we're like, no, we're going to follow her in our own comic, or not at all. And they're like, guess who's coming back to her own comic book? Spider-Gwen! And we're like, that's
a
right.
popular character, too, like...
And it's easier to follow. Like, of all of the Spider-Verse, it's the easiest one to get into because of how they do it. Like, even with Amazing or even just Spider-Man, there's Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man. Spectacular.
There's even Spider Island now.
Oh, boy.
It's just, like... It starts getting ridiculous and stupid, and even like the one that I told you about, where it's Spider-Man, Venom, and Black Cat, and it's all brand new. It's like a #1 issue. It's Amazing Spider-Man something issue 1. So it's like, well, is this an Amazing Spider-Man title or is it not? It turns out it is not, but it does connect. It's irritating as hell the way that they set things up. So I hope Marvel keeps doing good with their movies because they suck at naming their comic books.
Anyways, moving along.
And now Sean with sports.
Yes.
There are no sports. Moving on.
I know.
All right, you know what we have?
What's that?
We have an email.
We have an email?
We have an email.
Get what we got, Mr. Roboto. It's another email from Sparky and Guns.
Yes, it's been a while, but here it is. They called this email, Guns makes Katie better than Sparky, and it's not even close. Good afternoon, grindy Galvatrons. Sorry we haven't emailed in a fortnight. We went toward the light. The light led to other lights and the realization that all the lights in the sky are our enemies. But we used our friendship and spiral power to open a hole in the heavens for all to follow. Then we wrote this email. Responding to the hypothetical Josh mouth birthed into the world, Guns would use the mini nuke used to clear big holes in Starship Troopers. It would probably not be effective in the long run against robots, but hey, it goes big boom. Sparky would use the Predator net from Aliens vs. Predator. It could do damage on small groups when it retracts and cuts and crushes. Sparky's hypothetical is, you are trapped on a deserted island. What 3 things would you want to have to ensure your survival and possibly get rescued?
Okay, so before we answer theirs, let's hear your answers.
Is that the end of their email?
No.
No, there's more. But before we continue on and before we answer their hypothetical, what sci-fi weapon would you choose? The question was, robot apocalypse has begun. You get to choose one handheld weapon from any sci-fi show. What would you choose? Katie?
Zat Nicotel.
Okay.
It's got an almost unlimited number of shots before you run out and have to recharge it, but it can be recharged. And it has an effect on machinery, as we saw when they fought the replicators.
I changed my answer from before we went on the air, and I'm just going to go with the BFG from Doom.
Okay. A high-energy plasma cannon. Sean?
I'm still picking to my answer from last week, where I had Khan's weapon of choice from the Klingon planet in Star Trek Into Darkness. Did you check that out? You were supposed to check that out.
I didn't.
Oh, well, it's a pulse phaser rifle cannon kind of thing where he took everybody out. It was awesome.
Okay. I would choose the dehydration gun from
Megamind?
From Megamind.
That's a great idea. Like mine, it is light, it's easy to hide, you can run around with it easily, and it does good damage against everything.
Okay, so their question.
What 3 things would you take to ensure your survival and possibly get rescued on a deserted island?
Well, they made this too easy. I would take a replicator, a shuttlecraft, and a pilot.
There you go.
I would take Josh, and that's all I need.
I was going to take a satellite phone and a replicator, actually. Robin? That's not 3 things, but...
No. What 3 things, eh?
On a deserted island to ensure your survival and rescue.
A lighter.
Oh, you're going actual practical. Oh, okay.
How about that?
My cigarettes.
How about that plasma lighter?
And your cigarettes?
From the infomercial. It works even in the water. And if you've encased it in ice, it still works.
See, my plan for bringing Josh was just that he would get me out.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And a comms device to Star Labs.
There you
go. Boom. Done.
So if we're going to go actual practical, a large set multi-tool, a mirror, a parabolic mirror, so that I can use that to cook.
You can start fires, you can signal planes.
Yeah. So, and 200 meters of polypropylene sheeting.
Yeah.
You can make a structure, you can make water gathering material with that. You can use it as a blanket to keep yourself warm.
Very good.
Once again, I just take Josh.
Okay. Guns wants to know what you put in your Kraft Dinner. The correct answer is nothing but butter, but I'll hear out your answers just to see how wrong you are. I know Robin puts in ketchup.
Absolutely he does.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry,
I put ketchup on ketchup.
I'm sorry, Guns, you can no longer email in. The correct answer is you put ketchup.
Blech.
I put pepper.
Salt and pepper, yeah.
I put salt,
I don't
pepper,
put
and
salt, I
ketchup.
just put pepper.
Oh.
Sometimes if I'm feeling a little adventurous, I cut up some hot dogs and I throw those in
Oh,
there too.
hot dogs.
I have
Hot
done
dogs
that.
are the
I have done that in
Damn
the
right.
past because it fills up kids faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
What?
not really putting in your thing though. That's just Did he just? Are you talking about how he cooks it?
I don't know.
He doesn't add cream to the mix. There's instructions on the box.
Do you add the cheese stuff?
I add whatever's in the box, plus milk and the butter.
You just
and
put
then,
the box in the pot with water.
Yeah, that's all. I just cook the box and...
Quarter cup of milk and a large scoop of butter.
Or you could use cream.
And then ketchup on it.
Yeah.
I don't like
like a
ketchup.
civilized man.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for another week of pod blasting. Stay safe out there in this crazy world so we may hear your throat music across the airwaves once more. Don't underestimate us. We don't care about time or space or multidimensional whatevers. We don't give a damn about that. Force your way down a path you choose to take and do it all yourself. That's the way Team Sparky and Guns rolls. The tomorrow we're trying to reach is not a tomorrow you've decided on. We, by ourselves, choose our tomorrow from the infinite universes. We will fight through it. We will fight through it and protect the universe. We'll show you we can do it. Do the impossible. See the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. P.S. Just a small request from each of you to give us your best Korg voice from Ragnarok.
Ooh.
I love Korg.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I like their Gurren Lagann reference. That's pretty great.
All right, who's gonna try their?
I'll try my Korg. Okay. Another day, another Doug.
Very good.
Hello, I'm Korg. I'll be your host for this apocalypse. As you see here, I've got some leftover bushes. Sorry, they're covered with blood.
I can't do accents at all, so I'm not even going to try.
This is my buddy Mick. He's dead. Oh, no, he's not. He's not dead. He's just unconscious.
Very good. I like it.
Very good.
All right. So that concludes episode 175 of the Rusted Robot Podcast.
What a great round number it was.
Very good round number.
It's not a round number. It is a product of 3 primes. It is not a round number.
And that's why we keep Josh on the podcast. Because he always corrects us.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So, Robin.
Hey.
I know you're on social media.
Hey now. Yes, I am.
How can listeners get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Robin Wild, W-Y-L-D. I'm on Instagram at DC Wild. And you can find me on Facebook at Robin Small Fry Cool. And I'm one of those people that don't have the same handle for everything, which is probably a missed opportunity. But you can also follow the other podcast that I'm a part of at the Space Jam Podcast.
Very cool. And Kitty, are you on Twitter yet?
No.
All right.
I don't do the tweets.
You don't do the tweets. And Josh is not on social media of any kind.
Nope.
But I can be found on Twitter at Darth Vaderloo, at Soulforge Pod for the Soulforge Podcast, and at The Rusted Robot for the Rusted Robot Podcast. And I'm also on Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. See how I have 2 Darth Vaderloos?
I see that.
Yeah, so it's easier.
I know that. Yeah,
You should probably...
Maybe I'll make the change.
You should make the change.
Make the change.
Anyway, thanks for being a part of the show, everybody.
Thanks for having.
Thanks to our listeners for retweeting and downloading and subscribing and sharing with your friends. And remember, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. If you'd like to contact the show, email us at therustedrobot.gmail.com. Our website is therustedrobot.podbean.com. On Twitter, we're at The Rusted Robot. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. We'd be honored if you would review us on iTunes and like us on Facebook. If you'd care to support the show, there's a PayPal link on the website or go to patreon.com/Darth Vaderloo. Please check out Jump City at 229 Pine Street South in Timmins. And as always, if you like what you heard, let us know. But most importantly, tell your friends about us. The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
I can do this all day.
I sit on YouTube all day watching cats and unicorns. I took an arrow to the knee, it hurt but I returned. I can't even lift but the force is strong with me, beware. I always sing along to Glee. I don't care. I'm nerdy. I don't care. You tell me get a life, but I'm the 3 inside this game. I cosplay as a boy from shows I love, you think it's lame. I bought a pony cushion line, one that is super rare. Trolls I say love and tolerate. I don't care. I'm nerdy. I don't care. I am too super cool. I've got some EXP. I'm high on Firefly. I'm with a DMD. I'm over 9,000. Come on, I'm just saying. I am the first Matrix. Your Matrix 2 and 3. I'm nerdy. I'm nerdy. You look at me strange when I cook some fish fingers and custard. I drove my car up Rainbow Road. I cried 'cause I was fastest. When watching Yowie, it just makes my heart skip ducky ducky. I wish Senpai would notice me. I don't care. I'm nerdy. I don't care. I'm nerdy. I'm nerdy. I don't care. I'm nerdy.
This has been a Valley of Vanderloo podcast production, all rights reserved.
This transmission ends now.